Welcome back. I'm sorry there hasn't been much content recently. I've been very busy over Christmas and New Year, and you'll be very pleased to hear this video isn't about weather. We had some very strange weather at the end of last year and also at the beginning of this year, but now it's settled down and we've just got the hot and dry conditions that are usual for this time of year. It's January the 15th today. So today the theme isn't the beach, it isn't weather, it's actually football. We're going to see some Thai football today, and first of all we're just going to have a bit of lunch in one of these restaurants just behind the beach, and the next time you join me I'll be at the football stadium. I'm at the Tinsulanon Stadium in Songkhla. This is named after Prem Tinsulanon, who is probably Songkhla's most famous son. He was the head of the Thai army and followed the natural career progression of people high up in the Thai army. He became Prime Minister, and he was known as being one of the most honest and least corrupt Thai Prime Ministers. After that, he became very close to King Bhumibol. He was the chairman of the Privy Council that advises the king, and he was probably the king's closest advisor. And he died a couple of years ago at a very old age. He's well into his 90s, almost 100. And this stadium is named after him, and this is where Songkhla FC play. I've been meaning to come here for quite a long time, but I've just never got around to it. In the UK, I used to go to watch West Ham quite often. I was actually born where the West Ham Stadium is now in East London, and I grew up just off the Barking Road in East Ham, within walking distance of the old West Ham ground, Upson Park. So I used to go quite regularly throughout the 90s and had a season ticket for about 3 years. So when I came to Thailand, I was still quite interested in football, and Songkhla FC is the nearest team to me. As I say, I never actually got around to coming here. Unfortunately, it seems they do athletics here as well, and there's a running track between the pitch and the fans, which is always a bit of a shame. It's nice when the fans are really close to the ground, like at Upson Park when it used to exist. And I've just spoken to one of the staff here about the capacity, and I asked him in Thai, and he was doing his best to reply in English. I don't know why, and he told me it's got a capacity of 50,000. I'm not sure if I believe that. I'm not sure if you can get 50,000 people in here. It's quite a good size, but probably not that big. But quite a nice ground. The grass is nice quality as well. Obviously they don't have the problems with snow and ice and cold weather like they do in the UK, but during the hot season this must take an enormous amount of watering. And the reason I'm here today is that my son plays football. Me and my wife were both keen for him to play. She was keener for the reason just to keep him out of trouble when he gets later. A lot of sort of adolescent Thai males go off the rails, sort of in their teens, with drugs, alcohol and racing motorbikes. So we wanted him to sort of do something more wholesome. And I used to play a lot of sport when I was young. I just think it's a good thing to play sport. It's good for your social life. It keeps you in shape. It's just a very good thing. So he plays Saturdays and Sundays at a local academy. That's why you don't see much content from me at the weekends. And through his academy, they've arranged this activity today. So what it involves is two things. From 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, he's going to attend a football clinic. There's going to be coaches to try to put right any problems they see with the kids. And then at 6 o'clock this evening, it's the ASEAN Charity Shield match, and it's Buriram United of Thailand who will play Kelantan of Malaysia. I don't know a huge amount about Thai football, but I know that Songkhla FC hasn't got a particularly good side. Chonburi has got a good side, and I believe the top team in Thailand is actually Buriram, who are playing this evening. So that's what we'll be doing later on today. We'll be watching Buriram play Kelantan. It's actually a very nice stadium and very close to the beach. Just outside the stadium on this side is Samila Beach and the Gulf of Thailand. And also interesting to see some standing areas. Well, I guess these are standing areas. These sections have got no seats, and there hasn't been any standing sections in Premiership grounds in the UK for a long time. I think since the Hillborough disaster. But I do remember very well as sort of, as a young lad going over to Upson Park and standing in the North Bank or the South Bank. I don't have a clue at the moment what the attendance will be. We just had lunch near Samila Beach, and I saw a few people wearing Buriram shirts, so I guess they're here for the game. It'll be interesting to see later this evening how many people there are. And it's not expensive to attend as it is in the UK. If you go to a Premier League game these days, you're going to be paying a lot of money. As part of the package today, the football clinic for my lad and the tickets for this evening's game are all free. And I think if you want to buy additional tickets, it's only 100 baht. So it's say quite a bargain and a lot cheaper than the UK to watch a professional football match. This is where we'll be doing the football clinic. This is artificial grass, which is quite normal for Thailand. And since my lad has been playing football, I've been surprised at how many venues there are around this area for playing football. It's really quite popular with the young kids. Most of the places, sort of 99% are artificial grass. We've played at one place that has real grass, but I think the coaches got a bit fed up because they had to take along lawn mowers along with all the other equipment and then mow the grass before the kids started playing, and that got a bit too much. So artificial grass is preferred. Despite the Thai enthusiasm for football, Thailand has never reached a very high level. I don't think Thailand has ever qualified for a World Cup. And my lad's coach is actually an ex-national team player. It's quite a few years ago, but he did play for the national team. And one of his teammates, I forget his real Thai name, but he was nicknamed Zico, sort of after the Brazilian. And he was probably the best player that Thailand ever had. And he went to the UK to play, and the best he could do was get a contract for Huddersfield, which are quite a low league team. So, I don't know why. Because some of the players look good, they're very enthusiastic, but they just can't get to the level of foreign players. I'm quite surprised, but pleasantly surprised, at the level of coaching here. I've just been chatting to a guy from Spain who's a professional coach working for the Kelantan team in Malaysia. So before that game, all these professional coaches will be helping the youngsters at this clinic. I've just been told that this guy here in the white shirt played for the South Korean national team in the 1994 World Cup in the USA. Here's my lad being coached by the ex-South Korean World Cup player. I was a bit cheeky. I asked the Spanish coach for Kelantan who he thought was going to win tonight, and he thinks Buriram. Buriram apparently have a very strong team.
ปัจจุบันนะครับมีโอกาสได้พูดคุยกับพรรคพวกเพื่อนฝูงในวงการกีฬา
It's a bit different watching football in January in Thailand compared to the UK. I remember going to West Ham away games at places like Bolton and Blackburn and wearing about 6 layers of clothing and a hat and gloves and still feeling cold. It's been pretty hot today. I guess it's been 35 plus, and even though we're getting into the evening, it's still very warm. There doesn't seem to be any crowd segregation here, but Thais are a lot more civilised than the morons that go to football matches in the UK just to fight with the opposition. The other thing I'm not sure about at the moment is how much passion there's going to be. In the UK there's extreme passion at football matches, and a lot of chanting and singing, and I just don't know whether there's going to be any chanting or singing at this game, but we'll find out fairly soon. The teams have come out to warm up. Kelantan in the red and black, they're known as the Red Warriors, and Buriram in orange. And I've been told the best player for Buriram is actually from Iraq, and the best Thai player isn't playing because he's playing for Thailand against Vietnam in Bangkok tomorrow, so he's not available for this game. This is a bit of a special event, so my West Ham shirt got an outing today. And I'm only mentioning this because at the moment you need to be very brave to wear a West Ham shirt outside. Just over there are about half a dozen Kelantan fans, and they just tried to get a song going, which really made me laugh. It's definitely quiet here. When I was going to Premier League games in the UK throughout the 90s, there were 30, 40, 50, 60,000 people all singing, you know, tremendous noise, and here is just quiet. And the estimate I was given earlier, 50,000, was obviously wrong. Someone else told me the stadium has a capacity of about 30,000. And I estimate that it's about a third full, so I guess there's around 10,000 people here, which I guess isn't too bad. The players are coming out now and it's getting a bit noisier. And one of those young lads is our son. And my wife here has enjoyed it far more than I thought she would. And one of the reasons is that she was chuffed to bits about him being chosen to be a mascot. And also the Spanish coach for Kelantan was a good looking guy, so she was quite pleased about that. Having their photographs taken. Once they're finished, so I've got to go outside the stadium, try and find him, and then bring him back into the stadium to watch the game. I'm really not sure about the attendance. It may be a bit more than 10,000. It's sort of filled up a bit in the last 10 minutes. There's the national anthem, this is the Thai national anthem. Actually, it's the anthem for the king. Goal number 3. Oh, no. Yeah, it looks like goal number 3 with someone injured. This game is very, very one-sided. I think Buriram could end up in double figures. And about 10 minutes before kickoff, I said the stadium was about a third full. Well, a lot of people arrived after they started playing, and now it looks about 80% full. So there's probably 24 or 25,000 people here now, which is pretty good. It's half time, 4-0 to Buriram. Very one-sided. I think Kelantan have only had 2 attacks and the Buriram keeper has had virtually nothing to do. And there is actually some support for Kelantan. For their 2 attacks there was a little bit of cheering, and when I looked around it appeared to be southern Thai Muslims that were cheering for them. And there's a huge amount of history in this part of the world, sort of northern Malaysia and southern Thailand. Now there was a treaty in 1909, Anglo-Thai treaty, Britain and Thailand, and in that treaty 4 southern Thai states were ceded to Malaya, as it was then. And I believe Kelantan was one of them. Kelantan, Terengganu, Kedah, and one other. I'm doing this from memory, so I can't really remember. So, you know, those people will probably feel more aligned to Thailand because, you know, their part of the world was taken from one country and given to another. And there's also been other history with places like Pattani that was sort of annexed by the Thais. And although Pattani is in present-day Thailand, all of the people down there are Muslim, and because of their language and culture and religion, they feel more aligned to Malaysia than Thailand. So it's quite sort of natural that some people here, although they live in present-day Thailand, they will be cheering for the Malaysian team because they actually feel more aligned to Malaysia than Thailand. The final score was 7-0. It was a good game to watch, quite fun, but just so one-sided. It doesn't really say a lot for Malaysian football, if that's the best that Malaysia can do. They announced the attendance, Songmun Harpan, so it's 25,000 something, which is a pretty good attendance. I'm surprised how much I've enjoyed it, and it's a bit strange that I used to enjoy watching football in England, and this is my 20th year here, and I've never made an attempt to watch football in Thailand. So this is the home of Songkhla FC. So I'm probably going to look at the Songkhla FC fixture list and try and get over here again. Well, I know that a lot of people who come to Songkhla and Hat Yai don't come to watch football, but if you do come and you enjoy football, it's another option. Thanks for watching, and more videos soon.